Hello, my name is Sarah O'Dowd. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I believe a successful school is led by strong leaders who are willing to lead by example. I believe high expectations should be set, but teachers and other staff need to be given tools necessary to meet those high expectations. The same is true in my classroom. I have very high expectations for my students, but they're able to rise to the occasion because I provide them with the tools necessary to meet those expectations. An example of this happened about 5 years ago at our regional science fair. This is a science fair in which area schools, about 35 area schools, send 3 projects, and those students compete for a spot in the city fair. This time, the fair was previously really well run, and about 2 years prior to this, it was run by someone different, and it was really just poorly executed and poorly organized. We only had about 20 judges show up for 150 projects, and students were judged different amounts of times, and projects that deserved to advance, including one of my students, weren't able to advance. So I contacted the person in charge, who was Luba Johnson, and found out that the woman organizing that fair was actually leaving, and I offered to step up and take over the fair the following year. So I got a partner in another teacher, and we got a team of teachers together, completely reorganized the fair. The following year, I had over 100 judges locally come out and judge our fair. It was a major success. I've been running the fair ever since then, but I really felt it necessary to step up for my students and be their advocate and make sure that all of that hard work didn't go unnoticed, and those who were prepared for the city fair were able to advance. I've been running the fair ever since. It's gotten a little bit easier every year, but we now have such a great team of teachers in this region to work together that the fair kind of runs itself now. Moving on to question 2, I'm familiar with the Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching. That's what our district uses. So I'll pretty much speak to that, but of course I'm willing to open to learn whatever you have. Obviously, the overall goal of a teacher evaluation is to give a teacher meaningful feedback, to improve his or her practice. At our school, that works in 3 steps. So you start with a pre-conference where you learn where the teacher is in their unit. See if there's anything you want them to look for. Are there any personal goals they're working on? If they have any previous observations that there's something that needs to be focused on, obviously that could be the focus of the observation as well. The actual observation, when the actual observation is up, obviously you're looking for evidence of procedures and routines, look at the physical arrangement of the room. What about the relationship with the students? Do they have a positive relationship? Is there respect and rapport with the students, between the students? Questioning techniques. Is the teacher really trying to get the students to think, or are we asking leading questions? On-task behavior, student participation, and just overall the feel of the class, and determine if the students are actually learning and making strides in the class. After the evaluation, the administrator needs to look at the evidence provided and use the rubric provided to score the teacher and provide the teacher with meaningful feedback so he or she can take that evidence and improve their practice. It ends with a post-conference where you can discuss all of the areas of the rubric and see if there's any areas where you disagree. Sometimes in one observation you can't see everything, so a teacher may be able to provide you with additional evidence supporting one aspect of the rubric. The last question, I've been in middle school for 17 years now. I think something that makes me right for the job is the fact that I love middle school students. Not many people can say that, but I really appreciate the age and appreciate the fact that they're still kids and they're still learning, and it's a really important time for them. And although most people don't really remember their middle school years, it really can mold who they are in the future. So having a strong support around during that time is really essential for a child to be successful. I'm a very hard worker. I'm very organized. I think if everything is set in place, everyone can succeed. So I work really hard at organization. I see the best in people. I think that most people really want to do the best, so I'd like to help people out and make sure everyone can succeed. Thank you for listening.